Next on Worcester News Tonight, testimony from patients of the Plumley Village Health Center as the clinic is set to close. Plus, Leicester police arrest a man after finding hundreds of marijuana plants in his home. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Bottary. Emotional testimony given by patients of the Plumley Village Health Center. UMass Memorial Healthcare announced earlier this month they would be closing the clinic. Tonight we're hearing from those patients just 2 months before the scheduled closing. Our Cam Jandro joins us now live with the details. Cam?
Anna, it was nearly a full house at Journey Community Church here in Worcester as those patients aired out their concerns. They spoke in front of a panel of experts, including a representative from UMass Memorial.
We felt extremely disappointed, angry.
I was shocked. I was devastated.
Valerie Washington is a patient at the Plumley Village Health Center. She's gone to doctor's appointments there for nearly 2 decades and is concerned about the center closing.
I've been going to Plumley, me and my children, and to hear that they're closing it and I have to look somewhere else, this is my family. I'm devastated.
The clinic has been open for more than 20 years and currently serves more than 2,000 patients. Interim president at UMass Memorial Medical Center, Dr. Jeffrey Smith, says closing the Plumley Clinic is not something they want to do, but patient concerns will continue to be addressed following the closure.
We have been and continue to be committed to this underserved community, and we'll need to partner with them in different ways to continue to provide for their care.
This is on you, not on us. We don't have to fix our behavior. You do.
Nearly half of the patients at the center don't speak English. The center's medical director says it needs to remain open to assist the city's vulnerable population.
We're really worried about what will happen to our patients when they aren't able to walk into the clinic anymore, or when they have to take a bus or try to go out of town to get healthcare services. We're afraid they just won't get services.
The group Plumley Clinic Coalition was created in response to the announced closure. They hope to convince UMass Memorial to keep the Plumley Village location open.
The community's watching, that we are not simply just going to accept these decisions.
We are going to need to look to provide care in different ways, in different partnerships, so that we continue to be a strong and viable resource for all of the patients in the communities that we serve.
Now, UMass Memorial heard from many people tonight, but their message is still clear. On July 10th, 2018, the Plumley Village Health Care Center will still close. Tonight, Smith says patients can still call their 855 UMass MD phone line to receive assistance. Anna?
Thanks, Cam. A Leicester man is arrested after police discover more than 200 marijuana plants and replica handguns in his home. According to police, 48-year-old Robert Gebhardt was openly advertising he was selling marijuana on Craigslist and Facebook. When police secured a search warrant, they found 216 plants at various levels of maturity in Gebhardt's home. Police say he doesn't have a license from the state. Chief Jim Hurley says the replica firearms are concerning.
Those automatically raise the level of intensity when you go in on one of these warrants. So we went in on this search warrant as a regular, fairly low-risk search warrant. And then you go in and you start to see these replica handguns laying around the house. And that brings it from low risk to high risk.
Chief Hurley says luckily the guns were only replicas and Gebhardt did not reach for one. He's charged with 3 counts of distribution of marijuana and 1 count of cultivation of marijuana. Speak Up Tour 2018 made its last stop in Worcester tonight. The goal of the tour is to empower women to speak up and to change the perception of speaking in public from being feared to an act of power and leadership. The tour is headlined by CEO and founder of Speaker Sisterhood, Angela Lucier. She says finding the courage to speak up will help to connect to bigger possibilities.
Women have something really valuable to say. Our perspectives matter, our ideas matter, and our dreams matter. And so it's just a matter of having the courage and the confidence to say the things that are important to us, to be role models for young women and girls and other women who feel like they don't have a voice.
The Young Professional Women's Association of Worcester hosted tonight's workshop. Governor Charlie Baker will have opposition within his own part for this year's gubernatorial election. Springfield pastor Scott Lively got more than 27% of delegates to support him at Saturday's Massachusetts Republican Convention. Candidates needed at least 15% to make the ballot. Baker received nearly 70%. 3 candidates received the mandatory 15% in the U.S. Senate race, with State Representative Jeff Dial getting 55% of the vote. Beth Lindstrom and John Kingston round out the remaining Senate hopefuls. The winner in September's primary will challenge incumbent Senator Elizabeth Warren. Worcester County District Attorney Joseph Early Jr.'s campaign office says he plans to move forward with his re-election. Meanwhile, his opponent says he should resign. Last week, reports were released about the altering of an arrest report for a judge's daughter and detail the actions by law enforcement personnel, including the Worcester County DA. Our Chandler Walsh explains.
Candidate Blake Rubin is calling for Worcester County District Attorney Joseph Early Jr.'s resignation. Rubin, an independent running against Early, says he's troubled by the DA's role in an altered arrest report of a judge's daughter.
When I read those reports, it was crystal clear that DA Early was the person who arranged for the report to be revised for Ms. Bibaud.
Rubin's request comes after reports from the Massachusetts State Police and the Massachusetts Attorney General's office. Attorney General Maura Healey says her office's investigation found no basis for criminal charges. The case will now go on to the State Ethics Commission.
The investigation revealed ethics violation concerns, and so that's why we've referred the matter to the State Ethics Commission.
Though the AG's report didn't say Early told former State Police Colonel Richard McKeon to alter the police report, it did say Early told McKeon he was permitted to create a new report and it was the appropriate thing to do.
He's the one who spoke with the colonel, he's the one who had the interest in getting the report revised, and he's the one who ultimately requested the colonel, in so many words, revise that report.
Rubin also says the reports show Early gave special treatment to the judge's daughter others would not receive.
During 10 years, the DA has never gone to either the colonel or any other law enforcement officer and asked for a report to be revised like he did for Ms. Bibaud.
Early's office stands by their statement saying in part, all standard protocols were followed and applied appropriately as they are for all cases. The Attorney General's report affirms clearly and unequivocally that all actions taken were lawful.
That was our Chandler Walsh reporting. A Worcester business is open Monday despite being crashed into over the weekend. An SUV slammed into Horizon Acupuncture early Sunday morning, leaving a 39-year-old man trapped inside his vehicle. Firefighters were able to free the man. The owner of Horizon Acupuncture wouldn't speak on camera with us, but he says he's thankful it wasn't during business hours and none of his clients were hurt.
Somebody had to have gotten hurt. It was pretty banged up and the building was pretty banged up. We called Service Pro and they came in and did their board up. We cleaned up and now we're waiting for the rest of the things to take their course.
In the crash, one driver fled the scene and he's now facing multiple charges, including leaving the scene of an accident and negligent operation. Also in Worcester, a homeowner shoots a man after police say the man was trespassing in his yard and a physical altercation followed. Our Rosalind Flaherty has the story.
Worcester police say 29-year-old Zachary Bailey was dressed in all black and was apparently trying to break into cars on 2nd Street early Sunday morning. But when he cut through this property, the homeowner grabbed his gun and came out to confront him.
The male became aggressive and attacked the homeowner, and they struggled and were fighting each other for quite a while.
Police say the homeowner fired 5 shots and hit Bailey twice. Neighbor Jonathan Rodriguez called 911 when he heard and saw the altercation.
It led really quickly, escalated.
Bailey took off and police later found him and brought him to the hospital. He is expected to be okay. Police say the homeowner is a registered gun owner and is a retired Worcester officer. They say although you have the right to confront someone if they are on your property, you should always call police.
Everyone has their own way of doing things, and if you do want to go out and confront someone, just realize that things can escalate and it can end up with something happening that you don't want to have happen.
Rosalind Flaherty, Worcester News Tonight.
No matter what challenges you may be facing, Attorney General Maura Healey says she's there to help. As part of her People's Law Firm Summit, the AG hosted an outreach day at Clark University. Community leaders, service providers, and state educators gathered Monday morning to learn more about the services the Attorney General's office provides. They had a chance to ask questions on topics like assisting immigrant communities, fair housing, and workers' wages.
We're out here as a partner. You know, we're going to work together. We're going to get things done better when we're working together, both private, nonprofit, and government, all working together.
Today's summit is the second of its kind for the AG's office. The first was held in Boston in October of 2017.